Now, the Department of Basic Education this week embarked on a massive COVID-19 inoculation campaign at Gauteng schools. The rollout will target learners aged 12 to 17. It follows concerns of a fourth wave after the detection of the COVID-19 Omicron variant. The vaccination drive will also target communities near schools up until the 15th of December, when schools close for the year. Basic Education Spokesperson Mhlanga joins me now with more details. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the AM report here on Newzroom Afrika. You've sent out a consent form to parents, guardians, caregivers, really urging them to sign it and ensure that their children between the ages of 12 and 17 do get vaccinated. Let's talk a little bit about this process, because it's not the first time, of course, we've heard mention of the vaccination drive and your efforts to ensure that those between those ages are indeed vaccinated. What are the steps that you'll be taking as the parents start submitting these consent forms?
Good morning, Paul. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it. The Department of Basic Education, Social Development, as well as Health, we've been involved in vaccination programs before. It is not the first one, this one regarding COVID-19. So we have an established process where we involve parents and we ask them to sign a form, a consent form, indicating that they agree and support that their children are going to receive medical attention or vaccination or immunization through the integrated school health program involving the three departments. So we are doing the same even in this case. We are asking parents to have a conversation with their children to make sure that the eligible children get vaccinated. We believe it's the only weapon that we have against the coronavirus at the moment. We want to make sure that when we open schools, we return to some normalcy and that we are able to protect everyone against the virus. So we are saying that as many as possible of our learners, they should try to get vaccinated, and we hope that parents will support them too.
And as you embark on this process, what are some of the concerns that have come to the forefront, especially as you, I know, initially started in July with a target of around 530,000 or so. What are the concerns now, or perhaps some of the factors that may result in you not achieving your new set target?
Well, you know, there's an ongoing debate in South Africa about whether people should vaccinate or not, and we feel that people should vaccinate because there's no other way of protecting yourself against the virus, especially if you know that you'll be interacting with people. So a school environment, there's lots of people, so you need to make sure that you're vaccinated over and above having complied with all the health and safety protocols that involve your wearing of masks, social distancing, sanitizing, and making sure that you are screened every day. So we expect that those people hesitant will work with us to make sure that as many of us are vaccinated. The issue of consent has been one. In fact, there's an ongoing court case right now. We know that ACDP and others have taken the Department of Health to court regarding this matter, and we believe that it shouldn't have gone there. It's everyone's business that we protect each other. So we trust that where parents support the children, then they must take them through to make sure that they get vaccinated. So we believe that the concerns that are there should have been addressed by now. There's been a lot of information about the benefits of vaccinating and why it is important for all of us.
Through his address, we heard President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking about considering making compulsory vaccination for specific activities and locations to quell the further waves of coronavirus. Do you think that we could see schools having to fall within this category?
Well, we don't believe that anyone should be forced because people are quoting the Constitution. They say, I have a right to, which is correct, but you also have a responsibility. So the good thing in our case is that a large majority of our teachers have already vaccinated. And at the last count, we had over 250,000 or so young people between those ages 12 to 17 already having vaccinated. I guess the latest numbers will indicate an even greater number. We don't believe that we need to force people, and because the Constitution is also very clear that children have a right to education, and we know that they have to be in school in terms of what the Constitution requires of them to do. In school, they should still be able to come whether vaccinated or not, because we've got protocols in place in terms of social distancing, and that they have a right to learn. So we trust that our parents, as they've done before, will work with us. There will be no need to force them. We remember that in August last year, when the minister sent out a set of directions that children should all return to primary schools, they came in large numbers. So the response from parents, so far as the basic education sector is concerned, has always been positive. We expect that a large majority of our children who are eligible will start streaming through to the vaccination sites, especially because the exams, the end of year exams are ending, and that they will be free to do so, because initially we were worried about the exam period, but now that is coming to an end. So we want as many of our learners as possible to come through to vaccinate before we reopen for schools next year.
A lot of the learners will be at school, will be at home, pardon me, as they finish writing their exams. So that could possibly present some sort of challenge when it comes to driving the message and getting all of them to be at school to ensure that they participate in this vaccination program. Is that not a concern to you? And are you perhaps working around encouraging more pupils to come to school?
Yeah, in fact, what we are doing now is not really vaccination in school. It's us, together with the Department of Health, using schools as vaccination sites for the general public. But because it is a school which is well known to our learners, which is well known to our parents, we expect that there will be a huge turnout. I mean, there's still going to be a time when parents in the next 2 weeks, when they will be going to collect reports, and we expect that they will use that opportunity to also get vaccinated, or at least get more information about it. So our expectation is that parents are going to cooperate with us and take their children to get vaccinated in preparation for the academic year 2022. So for now, it's not really an outright drive in schools to get learners vaccinated, but instead we are using schools as vaccination sites for the general public, because we have 25,000 schools, and if we were to work with the Department of Health to ensure that members of the public who are expected to be vaccinated now know that a school, the nearest school, is your vaccination site, then it will be easier. We believe that we'll be able to get a lot more people vaccinated.
And as far as the 2022 academic year is concerned, I mean, what is it looking like as you perhaps preempt what the day one will be like, should you manage to achieve those overall targets when it comes to ensuring that those between this age group are indeed vaccinated, especially as we look at the impact of COVID-19, the disruptions and the program that had to be run when it comes to participation at school and the high dropout rate that we've seen over the past few months?
Well, we expect that the numbers of COVID cases will reduce. We're actually worried now that they are increasing at such an alarming rate. So we appeal to all members of the society to please work with us, because eventually, if there are restrictions, they affect schooling as well. Our wish was to see schools returning to normalcy in 2022, because the numbers were really low, and our planning was that we should have all our learners back in school, because we've suffered so many losses in terms of teaching and learning already, and we don't anticipate that this disruption will continue into 2022. But it looks like the situation is getting more complicated. So we will wait and see. We are monitoring, working together with the Department of Health. We'll take guidance from them. We presented a report to the Portfolio Committee 2 days ago indicating that we are ready for 2022. And we hope that the situation will work with us. South Africans should please work with us. Let's get vaccinated. Let's avoid gatherings, because the coronavirus is back with us. It looks like we are firmly in the fourth wave already. And that's not good news for 2022 school year, because the inland provinces are opening on the 12th of January and the coastal provinces are opening on the 19th of January 2022. And we don't want to have high numbers at that time. So let's work together and reduce the cases.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Let's leave it there for now. Basic Education Department spokesperson Mhlanga, they're calling and urging parents to sign those consent forms when it comes to the age group of 12 to 17 getting vaccinated.